This is the scene as you described it on the area. So I would set this up with two separate joint chains. The first one, I'm going to just create a skeleton that goes from the top of this little pink thing here up to the top of the little yellow cylinder right there. Okay, and I'm going to parent that joint to the pink thing, so I'll just hit the P key. So now when I take this pink thing and I move it, the joint's going to move along with it. All right, the second one that I'm going to create is going to go from the bottom here of this blue thing, and it'll reach up to the top of this green cylinder, and then I'm going to go straight down to the bottom of the white cylinder there. Okay, so this now so we've got these two joints in here that are facing each other. Just like I did before, I'm going to take this joint chain here, shift select the blue thing here, and hit the P key to parent it, so that now when I pick this blue thing, this is going to move along with it. Although, according to your illustration, that's not going to move. That's going to remain stationary. So then what I want to do is select the yellow cylinder and shift and select the joint here and parent it. Okay, so now when I move this pink thing, the joint and the parent move along with it. And then I'm going to take the green cylinder and parent it to this joint, and I'll take the white cylinder and parent it to this joint. Alright, so now when I rotate this joint, which according to your illustration this looks like what you want, that joint chain is going to move along with it. Okay, and then this one will also move when this rotates here. Okay, so then the trick is to take this descending joint right here, and I want to aim constrain it to this joint right here. So to aim constrain it, we know that the local x-axis points down the descending bone. So I'm going to select this joint first as the driver. I'll select this joint here as the driven, and then go to constrain, aim. And the default setting of the aim constraint is that the aim vector is the x right here, so I don't have to touch anything there. So I'll apply that, and now when I move this little pink thing here and it moves that joint, this joint and its parented object is going to aim towards that. So then the next thing I want to do is the opposite of that. I'm going to select this joint here as the driver, shift select this joint as the driven, and I'll aim constrain that as well. Okay, so now when let's just get out of X-ray mode here. So now when I pick this pink object here, it's going to move and my piston is going to operate. Okay, now there's a little bit of a restriction here. So that when I pull this further away, it's going to pull out. So I can limit that. And I don't know if this is what you're looking to do here, but I'm going to open up the attribute editor, and I have a little section here on translate limits. So I'm going to push this over on the x-axis until I get to about as far as I want that to go. And you can see here that it's negative 5.95. It'll be different obviously on your computer. So I'm just going to copy that over to the minimum area here and engage that limit. And then when I come back over here, I'll come over here and push that as far as I want it to go. Copy that value over to the max limit and engage the max limit. So now this little pink thing is not going to move beyond the min and the max that I've got there. As far as the rest of this is concerned, that green rod is stationary there, and you may not want that to be stationary. And depending on what you want to do with this animation, I would maybe use the set driven key so that this is going to rotate as this little pink thing translates. So I'll take the little pink thing here, I'll set that up as the driver, and I want to drive with the translate X. And then this joint right here, I'm going to load that as the driven, and I'm going to make that the rotate in Z. So when I have this moved all the way over in X, I may want to rotate this object up in Z to here, and I'll set that key, and then I'll move this as far as I need to in X, over to here, and I'll take this rotate in Z, and I'll rotate that on down so that it hits its maximum and set that key. So now when I move this pink thing, which seems to be the movable thing based on your illustration, this seems to work okay. I've got one little crash right there that I don't really like. So what I'm going to do is take that rotation in Z and open up the graph editor. This is the curve that represents the rotate in Z, and I think that what I need to do is take that tangent and make that linear, and take this tangent and make it flat. Let's see if that improves that situation. Yeah, see, it slows it down. What happens is the rotation of this joint is contingent upon the X translation of that pink thing. So I've slowed it down in the area where it was crashing, so it's not going to move, quite as much. So that's the way I might do something like that. Of course, for something like this, we might want to eliminate that that limit that we just put on there. So let's take that minimum and undo that. We'll pull this a little further now that we have a little bit more space, and I'll copy that over to the minimum. So now I've got a little bit more flexibility.